podcast time.
Hokey religions and ancient weapons. Match for a good blaster, you said.
Welcome to Hokey Religion, the Star Wars podcast. This is Tyler.
And this is Michael.
And we're back for another episode.
I'm trying out a new calm, simple Michael.
This is the therapeutic episode where we've been dealing with computer troubles for the last hour and a half.
Gone are the days where I'm going to start the episode by yelling at everybody.
That's not true.
It is true. This is the new me. Just you wait and see.
What does that mean?
The whole rest of the episode is going to be this.
Like you're a psychopath about to murder me? You're whispering into my ear with like an axe against my something? I don't know.
What?
I don't.
I'm whispering in your ear with an axe?
Sure. Why not? The axe.
I'm very confused about the function of an axe.
Talking as the axe. That's how crazy you are.
I'm talking as the axe?
Pretending to be an axe.
So I'm just holding an axe above your ear and...
Yeah.
I've drawn a little face on it.
Puppeting it at me. It has a little bow and a face. It's
a bow?
You've gone completely crazy.
I've switched genders with my axe.
I don't know.
My eye itches.
Thank you for that.
Podcast gold. Another one for the golden books.
The golden books.
I don't know. I couldn't figure it out last time either.
Yeah, no, there's no award. There's no gold.
I know there's gold involved somehow.
We will be given nothing from no one.
Don't we get awards
ever.
for this? Didn't I ask this last time?
I will buy you a trophy at some point.
Okay. One of those a soccer trophy.
Yeah. It'll literally be a little girl playing soccer on a trophy.
Right.
And the little placard will just say podcast gold.
Okay.
It won't even have like a ranking or a number. It will just say podcast gold.
Will it have my name at least? It has to have my name, right?
No, it's just gonna you just get podcast gold. Yeah.
It's a little girl playing soccer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And the column will be like an American flag, like swirled around. You know how those work.
Oh, the really tall ones that have the pillars and
not just one pillar, just a little mini pillar with a little girl playing soccer on top,
and an American flag. But it has to have that fake marble
space with the gold placard that says podcast gold.
Yeah, the ones that every homeschooler got in the 90s
for spelling or whatever we did.
Did you get those free pizzas? Did you ever get those free pizzas for doing book reports?
I thought you were asking me if I got trophies for pizzas. Did you get those 4 pizzas? I never got a pizza trophy. I'm highly interested in that now. If there's a trophy for pizza, I'm in.
You never got your pizza trophies?
No, I need to figure out the pizza trophies.
You show up at a Pizza Hut buffet and, you eat to a certain point and then you get your pizza trophy.
Please leave. Here's your trophy.
That's how it works. Come on.
Yeah.
You didn't know?
If anyone remembers that Pizza Hut used to have buffets at them. If anyone remembers Pizza Hut used to have a location to sit in and eat at.
Right.
With Metal Slug arcade machines.
Well, I mean, you could still go to a Pizza Hut and eat at the Pizza Hut.
They have those?
Well,
it's not encouraged.
There's nothing stopping you from picking up your pizza and just sitting on the floor.
Sitting down in the middle of the floor.
Open it up and just eat it right
Hopping
there.
up on the counter, sit down, and just start eating. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I want to be a part of that.
They asked you for your whatever, your crushed pepper, and you just, give me some of that.
Just
you just hop up there and, so, how's your day been?
Just lay down sideways. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Okay.
But lay down on the cash register, so you just hit all the buttons and it starts just shooting money out.
I don't think that you're thinking
That's how
of
cash
like
registers work. There's the
slot
button.
machine.
No, if you hit enough buttons at the same time, it just shoots money out wildly.
Violently.
Yes.
People are injured.
It just hits the back of the restaurant. It's shooting out so much money.
That's, I'm sure that can happen somewhere. Sometime.
It does. It happens, it's once or twice.
Once or twice? Sure.
So anyway, pizza trophy.
Sure. Yes, pizza trophies. I'll look into those.
What was I saying? How did I start talking about
it doesn't
pizza
matter
trophies?
anymore. I don't care.
It does matter.
No.
Oh, I remember what it was.
You got the trophies for reading, I think is where you were going.
Yeah. Haven't you ever been to a Pizza Hut a Pizza Hut buffet at 11 a.m. on a Tuesday?
And you're 10.
Do you know what that looks like?
It's just you and a bunch of moms in denim dresses.
There's an old lady there who's just there with her husband, who looks like he is just ready to die.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes, I used to read the books and fill out the form to show that I read the summer books to get a Star Wars poster from Pizza Hut.
Did you ever have to present it in front of everybody?
At Pizza Hut? Like, is there like an audience? Like, "Hey, everyone, please, if you'll direct your attention to the salad bar.
You know, normally they do
Little Michael has an announcement."
karaoke there.
I never had to
So
present.
you have to get up on the little karaoke stage and do your book
to
report.
crawl up onto the karaoke machine and perch on top of it and then give a book report at Pizza Hut because you weren't homeschooled, you were just homeless.
And the manager
this is what
judges you
happened.
and decides whether you're worthy of pizza or not. That's how it works.
You know, and you're 23 and all you've got is a fanny pack. It's you remember.
Just the fanny pack.
Yeah, that's just
Nothing else.
yeah.
Yep.
Step 1, you cut a hole in the fanny pack and there's a hole. Yeah.
Well, what's important is it a hole that goes all the way through? Or is it
All
just,
the way- yes. Yeah, you just
or is it just a hole in the back that goes into the little zipper pocket? So it's just kind of a comfy
it's
resting place.
either way. Either way works. It depends on how crazy you feel
Because I
that
feel
day in
like
particular.
I feel like if you're cutting a hole all the way through, why are you bothering to wear a fanny pack in the first
I mean,
place?
there's still storage space.
Well, yeah, that's true, I guess.
Where are you
Because
going to put your pizza trophy?
if you're cutting it all the way through and you're through,
Yes, I
then
follow.
that hole's blocked, so you can put things in there without worry of them falling
Yeah,
out.
you just tuck it around. You know,
Yeah.
it's insulation.
All right.
Just
So
a little,
you're-
just a little knob warmer.
So not only are you being very fashionable, but,
Oh yes, so fashionable
but you're
with that.
you've got
fanny
a little,
pack.
little your storage.
Yes,
Along with that.
your little pouch. Yep.
So
So all that to say, there's been big Star Wars news this week.
have we ever talked about
Oh,
like?
dang it.
No, I was gonna say it's been a long time. We've been around for what, like a year, over a year now.
Over a year, yes.
We should probably recap what we are and what we do. Should we do that?
Did we ever do that?
I don't know.
Did we ever
I
recap?
don't think so. We just kind of go into
If
it.
you're downloading this podcast and listening to it, maybe read the description before doing so.
Yeah, but I mean,
Also, we announced at the beginning that we are Hokey Religion, the Star Wars podcast. I am Tyler, and that is Michael.
and this is me. That's Michael.
Yep.
We are not a podcast about
Anything
pizza
important?
or fanny packs or
Well,
any of that stuff.
we'll see. We'll see how today goes. We'll loop back around on that at a
Okay.
later date.
Okay. The end of the episode, we'll give you a little.
Fanny pack update.
It's the fanny pack corner.
That's where you keep the stuff in the fanny pack around your Johnson.
The fanny pack corner.
Yeah, that's where you keep your pizza trophies.
But isn't
and
every
your
corner
book
of a fanny
reports.
pack your fanny pack corner?
Well,
Or is it just the one?
when one corner's full of dick, you gotta have another one that you just call the fanny pack
That's
corner.
true.
Yeah.
All right. What are we doing?
So again, all of that to say, there has been big Star Wars news this week.
yeah.
You sound as as less enthused.
I am as small interested. That's what you're trying to say.
Sure.
No, it's huge!
Yes, it's gigantic. It's amazing. They announced the episode 8 title, subtitle. Because it's Star Wars episode 8,
It's the title of episode 8.
colon, subtitle.
No, what? No.
I'm pretty sure it's called
Episode
a subtitle.
8 is the title? Or Star Wars is the title?
Star Wars episode 8 is the title, and then the subtitle
Is The Last Jedi?
is The Last Jedi. It was announced.
Well, that's what it is.
Yep. Okay, moving on. No, episode 8 was announced. The title, just like, it was just random. Just StarWars.com was like, oh, here you go. The title.
I was not expecting that at all.
No,
I don't think
not
anybody
at
was.
all. I was expecting it to be at Celebration.
Or a lot, at least closer to Celebration.
I was expecting a panel.
Not January.
Yeah, I was expecting the panel for episode 8 to have the name announcement followed by a teaser or trailer.
Uh-huh.
All to be like in the same day.
Ooh, excuse me.
But yeah, it is Star Wars episode 8, The Last Jedi, which is super interesting.
What do you think?
They also
About that.
and it was released all in red. The Star Wars logo was red,
Yes.
not yellow,
Yes.
which could mean nothing because A New Hope was yellow, Empire Strikes Back was blue,
Return of the
Jedi was red.
Well,
All
Revenge
the
of the
prequels were a crappy chromed color.
Revenge of the Jedi was red.
Return of the Jedi?
Well, Revenge
yes.
before they retitled it, but was it ever red in like the official promo stuff?
like when it was released.
Sure.
Pretty sure. And then of course the prequels all had that like silvery like chromed font.
Mm-hmm.
But in at least up front, but then I believe Revenge of the Sith was red.
Mm-hmm.
And this one's red. Whether it means anything or not, we will see.
Yeah, it was red. Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, The Last Jedi. The other interesting thing with the name is the fact that episodes 1 and 2 have a verb, like an action.
Okay. Yeah.
So like, well, usually it's like I'm trying to think. Like, so we have like The Force Awakens,
Yeah.
and then The Last Jedi, whereas it's like A New Hope, The Phantom Menace, and then it's Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith,
Oh.
Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi.
Well, The Force Awakens would be that too. Right?
Yeah, so it's kind of like flipped a little bit. People were like, "Oh, it's not. They didn't keep the same format of having the first two be kind of the same, and then the last one be like the oh."
This is speaking about a subject.
Yes, there's just it's a specific subject. Correct.
We're homeschooled.
Pizza trophies. It's super interesting. I don't know what to think about it yet. Assuming The Last Jedi is Luke, since the crawl from Force Awakens refers to Luke as The Last Jedi.
Let's get into this. I really like this title because
Yes.
it directly references the crawl from Force Awakens, who refers to Luke as the Last Jedi.
Yeah, as they're hunting the last Luke Skywalker, the Last
and
Jedi.
what Yoda was saying in Return of the Jedi as he was dying.
Yeah.
About you will be the last of the Jedi. He
When
says
I
the last of the Jedi, but
yeah, when I die, you will be the last of the Jedi.
right.
So
I love this title.
I like that it's
And it
very
hints-
referenced and like it's built into like yes, he's the Last Jedi.
Yeah.
But it can also reference a lot of other things.
Yeah, that's where I disagree.
Well, one, the plural of Jedi is Jedi.
Yeah.
So Luke and Rey can be the Last Jedi.
Yes.
Or Kylo, if he somehow flips and becomes a Jedi, they could be the Last Jedi.
He's not going to this movie, but anyway.
I don't think so, but
well, okay. Here's why I disagree. Rey is not a Jedi right now,
correct.
and I don't think she ever will be a Jedi. We talked about this a little bit.
This is something that I really like. I've heard others mention this theory, and I really like it as well. It's the direction I was thinking in with Rey. And we've mentioned this before. The Jedi were dicks.
Yeah.
They were all whatever happened with the we don't have canon for it now, but the Great War that happened in the Old Republic.
Yeah.
And the Jedi became this like really closed off, really, ivory tower, like we know what's best and we don't use our powers for anything useful.
Yeah.
And we'll just tell everyone what to do.
Yeah.
I like to think that the Jedi as we know them, and Luke being the last Jedi and how he was taught and how he then opened his training academy and tried to teach, which obviously went wrong, and Kylo Ren probably killed all these children.
Yeah.
I like to think that Luke will train Rey differently, and that the way of the Jedi, the Jedi Order, will not continue because it should not, because it's because the Sith and the Jedi were so polar opposite, but they're both polar opposite too far.
Yeah.
The Sith are too far into evil, and the Jedi are too far into we're all holier than thou, and our good also hurts because we're trying to be we're so good, and then it's really not helpful at all.
Anakin.
Yes.
Or Vader.
That over controlling, we know better than you.
Yeah.
Attitude. I like to think that Luke tried that, or not necessarily meant to, but tried to go with the way he was taught, and it didn't work out, obviously. And I like to think that the Last Jedi means that the Jedi Order, that teaching of the Jedi is done.
Yeah. I think we talked about this a little bit. I think Luke is going to be very reluctant to train Rey.
Yes.
Because, she's showing up with his old lightsaber, probably asking to be trained.
Yeah, 'cause
You know,
she's all cool. She's all accepting now that, okay, this is what I need to do, and this is my path.
Luke is coming off of all of his apprentices being killed, his sister, or his nephew, turning to the dark side. It's his sister's. It's a nephew, right?
Yeah.
Sister's son. Yeah.
Yeah.
His nephew turning to the dark side, and most likely the one who killed everybody.
Yeah.
And then this girl shows up with his old lightsaber that he lost to Vader after he failed at his Force training originally.
And he may not even know who she is or why she exists. He may not. We don't.
Yeah, this random girl that, I'm pretty sure he's not going to know who she is. I think that makes it a little more interesting. And she's showing up probably asking to be trained. So I think he's going to be super conflicted. And I mentioned to you that I think he's going to need some kind of like push to agree to train her.
Convincing.
Yeah. And I was saying earlier that it might be the Knights of Ren showing up, which was
I assume he felt Han's death.
Yes.
Which is obviously a big deal. And then
that's probably gonna trigger something in him.
And then the leaked images of Acto with what seemed to be the Knights of Ren having a battle with Luke and Rey.
Or at least it was. What was the picture? It was just a bunch of black
people in like black
figures.
Cloaks. It could be the Knights of Ren. It could not. But yeah. If they do attack, maybe the fact that they've come for him and he has to fight back. I don't know what out of that would convince him.
Was Rey there in those pictures?
Supposedly. I mean, we didn't. All we saw were the black. Rumors. It was all on Acto. The pictures were on Acto. I mean, it was part of the filming, and there were people in black cloaks,
right,
and some with various looking helmets.
I'm just trying.
But like, there were no pictures of Luke or Rey.
I'm just trying to figure out. It's more likely that Luke would be there than Rey, right? Because Luke has been there for a while.
Yeah, unless this is some kind of flashback, which I doubt.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, could it be?
I mean, I
can't remember if we talked about
it possibly could be. I think, obviously, if Rey could now track him down, I'm thinking they can track him down now, too.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out if they're still around.
Yes, the Knights of Ren could possibly not be around, but...
Because doesn't Snoke say that he's the last of the Knights of Ren, or... Do you remember that quote?
I don't off the top of my head.
In the... Shoot, it was... us doing the same thing we always do.
I mean, he refers to his, your Knights of Ren.
I thought Snoke says
we
specifically...
still have zero knowledge about why or what or how they are existing.
I thought he says specifically the last of the Knights of Ren. Like, he refers to... what's his name? Kylo.
Jeez, you forgot his name. That's nice. Yeah, I mean, if it's... I don't see... I could see the attack if the Knights of Ren attack him on Acto, him and Rey.
Yeah.
Maybe it's before he's had a chance to teach Rey anything, and he then sees Rey like, oh shit, she's like, she needs to be taught how to, like, I have to, like, out of almost obligation. But I don't see why. I don't see just them attacking would give him a reason to, unless there's some there has to be some force reason for him to.
You sure?
I think there needs to be a reason, a force reason for him to agree to do it.
Maybe you're right. Maybe them just showing up wanting to kill Luke, because that's all they would want to do, right?
Yeah, like, he wouldn't care about them just showing up to kill him. That wouldn't bother him.
There's also the thing to consider. Snoke has kind of left Luke alone until now.
Yes.
Now that the Alliance, quote unquote.
Yeah, whatever's left.
Resistance. I don't know what they're going to call themselves now.
No.
But maybe still the Resistance.
The Rascals.
Yes. Once the Rascals find out Luke where he is, Snoke suddenly cares. And, that thing triggered in Kylo. He had the battle with Rey, and Snoke felt something trigger in Kylo.
Yeah, and he killed his dad, which
probably
was his, like, decision to go full
bore
dark side.
That's probably what it was. He probably felt that dark side trigger in Kylo, like, okay, now you're ready for the last bit of your training.
Yeah.
But anyway, he cares about where Luke is. So now he would want Luke dead. So maybe.
And I mean, obviously the Millennium Falcon went to this island, so there's probably a way they can track them.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, it could also be a Force thing that is not.
It's just that I'm trying to find that Snoke quote.
Like
that's the only
maybe
thing
Luke has been able to hide his Force aura from Snoke on the
Yeah.
island, but Rey obviously may not know how to do that.
Maybe.
So maybe that's how they can find him. But yes, back to the original point. As I like the idea that the Last of the Jedi, or the Last Jedi, is obviously referring to Luke, especially since it's been referred everywhere.
Yeah.
To him being the Last of the Jedi, referred to as the Last Jedi in the crawl from Force Awakens. And then I really want Rey to be some sort of hybrid, like not so strictly taught. But
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
more in tune with the Force, because the Jedi even were like scared of the Force almost. Like they were only willing to go so far with the Force, or
Yeah.
like they always wanted to meditate and like hear the Force and feel the Force, but not really accept it and use it all that strongly. Not like Anakin did, but of course he went a little too far with the power. But that's because he wasn't taught how to deal with it really.
Well, what do you mean by, like, are you talking about people who specialized in certain parts of the Force, or?
Well, it's just
What do you
they
mean?
were just so restrictive of
They were.
the Force, with like, you know, you can't do this, you can do this, and you just need to feel it and do it and be.
Well, they were
be
more
good.
about you can't do this, you
Yes.
can't do this, you can't do that. It was more like, yeah, restricting yourself, like you're saying.
Yeah, and that's why there was never a balance. I mean, obviously Anakin brought the balance by killing everyone on almost, you know, every side and
Yeah.
leaving Luke.
Yeah.
But there's still not a balance of like, here's the super bad guys and here were the super good dickish guys that weren't really as good as they always seemed. They were
Yeah.
more so like watching out for themselves in the Force.
They came, like, you know, they were the guardians of peace and justice. They came from good intentions.
Yes.
They just got lost in their religion.
Yes. So I want that hybrid of like where Anakin was at the point of almost like the Clone Wars, with like when he started like those episodes with like the Force planet and him like
Yeah.
being really strong in the Force but hadn't gone to the struggling dark side of it yet.
You kind of see that a little bit in her fight with
Yes.
Kylo.
More aggressive.
Yeah, where she gets like almost angry and aggressive, and once she remembers, oh wait, I've got this Force thing.
And it's like, you know, don't give into emotion, you know, anger leads to hate and the dark side and all that.
That's what we've always been told by the Jedi.
Yes.
So maybe that's.
But I want there to be some hybrid. I want that balance to be found in Rey. That balance, bringing balance to the Force. I want that balance to now be found of like, okay, you don't have to be a dick and you don't have to be evil.
I wonder if it's possible to find that balance.
Yes, that's the other question.
Yeah. I mean, Yoda was the
Yeah.
one who came up with that. You know, anger leads to hate.
Yes.
Why can't I remember the whole thing? Jeez. Wow, I can't. Shoot.
Yeah, that one. I'm just
Keep
gonna
talking,
let you.
I'll remember.
I'm just gonna let you sit on that for a minute. Just watch the sadness.
Hold on. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to.
Yep.
Do you know the answer?
Hate leads to anger, and anger leads to the dark side.
No, it's not the quote.
I'm not like directly quoting it. I'm just saying the path of things. It's
It's fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate.
hate leads to the dark side.
Anger leads to, I guess hate leads to suffering. I thought there was something in the middle though.
Cake, pizza trophies.
Hate leads to suffering. You know, there's that thing.
Yes. I remember that Star Wars film. Thank you.
Remember the Star Wars?
Sure.
Remember when
Yes.
when Yoger said that?
Yager.
Yeah. Remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yager was talking to
He's talking
Yuke.
about anger.
leading to pizza trophies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
led to suffering.
No, you never suffer with a pizza trophy.
The path to pizza trophy is one of suffering. Trust me.
That is true.
You know.
I suffer.
Yes. So I want that. I don't know if the balance can be found, but I kind of like that idea of it's not like, oh, he's the Last Jedi because he gets killed in the movie and there's no more Jedi anymore and whatever. And I don't really want Rey to be considered the Last Jedi if Luke is killed.
Yeah, how do we get on this topic?
Pizza trophies?
No, no. So yeah, the Last Jedi. That's I guess I was
You're
trying
saying
to.
that Yoda's saying how anger leads to hate and suffering and the dark side and evil.
Oh, right. Yeah, I was gonna say real quick that Yoda was the one who came up with that, and I would put Yoda more in the category of like a rational Jedi.
Yes.
You know,
especially
like
in his old age and having all those years of like thinking about it. He may have been a little crazy.
But even from the beginning, he was always very rational, and he kind of seemed like he allowed things to happen just to kind of see and kind of study.
Unlike Mace Windu, or
who was very like just
like Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Probably more Mace Windu.
More Mace Windu, yes, he was the biggest.
He
dick
was
of
a
them
dick.
all.
And Obi-Wan, like Clone Wars era Obi-Wan was a pretty big dick, which I think.
Yeah, but I think that he wasn't as restrictive as Mace Windu. I didn't feel.
No, but I think that he still was kind of a dick, and that contributed a lot to where Anakin went.
Yeah.
I mean, he was constantly complaining about Obi-Wan and Attack of the Clones,
and him, like holding him back basically.
And Revenge of the Sith, yeah, he would complain to Padme about that. But
yeah, he complained about Obi-Wan and sand. Yes, we all know.
It's coarse and just gets everywhere.
It's everywhere. So yes, I would agree that Yoda.
It's coarse and rough and just gets everywhere.
Is that how he became
That's
British?
How it goes, yeah.
Sure.
It's coarse and it's rough and it gets everywhere.
Thank you.
That's what he says.
Posh Jedi.
Gets everywhere.
Yoda.
You have to really open.
You have to like unhinge your jaw. You have to let your jaw fall off slightly,
basically,
while saying that. Yes,
slightly, just enough that
you can still put it back on.
Dangle for the part.
But yes, just enough. Just enough dangle.
It's coarse and it's rough and it gets everywhere.
Thank you. But I agree that Yoda was a little more rational. And I mean, I would agree with Yoda that hate and anger and suffering all lead to the dark side.
Yeah, that's right. That's where I was going.
But I think it's the fact that you can probably control that with the Force as well.
I was trying to make a point that you can't. It's probably hard to find that balance because you can't just let yourself do whatever.
Well, yeah, but the Jedi were like, you can't be emotional about anything.
Yeah,
ever.
Right. That's like the complete
emotion
opposite.
Leads to you're dead.
Right. Basically.
You happy? Dead.
Right.
Just got to be like a Jedi robot and not care about what happens.
Talking about, Anakin leaving his mom and like forbidding him to go see her as she was dying. And, like that kind of.
Oh, that will cause emotion.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like there's good emotion. Like, let's get therapeutic here. There's good emotion and there's bad emotion.
Right.
But the Jedi were like, no emotion. Everything leads to bad.
Yeah.
Just robot. And
so it's okay to feel, but then don't lean into those feelings, which is kind of what Yoda was getting to.
Yes, but I mean, if you think about it, even Obi-Wan had feelings with
what?
What's her face?
What's her face?
Yes.
Who?
What? Her name is.
Is it something from Clone Wars?
Duchess Satine.
Oh yeah.
Like his love interest with Duchess Satine. Apparently they had a thing like before, and
right.
And there's a listener question later about that, but like he even had emotions and did lean into them, which I feel like that's why I feel he's not as much like Ki-Adi-Mundi or Mace Windu, where
maybe he's not quite as controlled.
I think he was trying to be the Jedi that they wanted him to be, but
and I think
the fact that Qui-Gon Jinn was like hated by all of them because he was like, yeah, let's kick ass and be Jedi.
He was very connected to like the emotional side of the Force, like the life force.
Yeah, like Qui-Gon, I didn't care for Qui-Gon all that much, but he wasn't like, he wanted like, let's figure out the Force and let's do stuff and let's fight and be Jedi. Right. And they were all like, no, we have to read our books and sit and
read our books.
Yeah. Holocrons, whatever they got. And then I think that's where Obi-Wan fell was, I have some of that from being with Qui-Gon, but they want me to be this way, so I'm going to try and fall into that. So they listened to me, but then Anakin was like, none of this. Everyone is crazy.
None of this! I'll have none of this.
Yes. And that's where he fell because no one was helping him. Basically, no one was helping him figure it out.
No
and
one
he was
was
like,
helping him have none of this.
We can do more than what you're letting us do, but no one was helping him figure out a way to do that without going.
Well, but he was also a confused little man.
Well, yes, he had problems.
Yeah. I mean,
I think one of the main problems is
of course, rough. It gets everywhere.
Yes, just
he had problems.
Yes, he had lots of sand problems,
like force feeding Padme.
force feeding her. He didn't force. He fed her with the Force, which I guess is force feeding her.
He force fed her with the Force. He sliced up a thing and pushed it with the Force into her mouth.
They were having a romantic dinner. I don't think she wasn't. She wasn't like.
Did you see the look on her face though?
Don't do it. I mean, she wasn't like freaking out that the piece of flying fruit was coming at her. She was like, "Oh, fruit! Let me fake bite it because this is all CG."
You know when he cuts that fruit,
and it looks like it was like he cut it with a 1,000-degree knife, and it just like melted through it. And then when she took a bite, that the piece that she bit just disappeared.
Yes.
Like it was just gone, just like snap, gone. That bite is gone.
When he cuts that piece, if you watch it, the knife goes into the fruit, and the fruit starts slicing before the knife hits it.
Yeah. So yeah, and then when she bites, it's just like a frame of like fruit. His whole bite is gone.
It's like a cartoon.
I mean, they tried. The technology wasn't there for flying fruit yet. We just weren't there yet.
The most complicated.
So yeah, Anakin wasn't helped to figure all of that out, and I hope that Luke doesn't let that legacy go on of not helping figure out the Force. Maybe he's had enough time to think on everything with what happened with his Jedi Academy and the way he taught Kylo to be like, well, there's emotions, but we can't stymie those emotions. Like we have to. It has to be healthy emotion. Like we have to. Yeah. Yes, emotion is good, but we can't let it. We need to be able to use the Force to control that emotion in a healthy way and not just suppress it until we explode into evil.
Yes, but think about how Luke was trained. I think he's going to come at it from a completely different way. He never had that person around to tell him, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't think that way.
All he had was Obi-Wan's like mystical teachings.
Yeah, Obi-Wan's alternative facts.
Yes. And then Yoda riding him like a backpack and stealing his fish sticks. Like he's had a rough go of it. He doesn't know what's happening.
Mine, or I'll have you not.
Fine, fish sticks, whatever.
Fine. Take my space fish sticks. I don't care. I didn't even heat them up. They're still frozen, you idiot.
Gnawing on his frozen fish sticks. So yeah, he didn't get a lot of helpful teaching, and we don't know.
I mean, look what he cooks for Luke.
We don't know how much he has had.
Look what he cooks for Luke when you take him back to his hut. It's just, it's like space porridge.
Yeah. So, but of course, at the end of Jedi, there are 3 Force ghosts of Yoda and Obi-Wan and his father. And so, does that continue? Like, can he gain information from them after this? Can they still be there to help him through?
Well, Obi-Wan never showed up when he wanted him to. So,
well,
I don't know. I mean, maybe he.
Can he commune with them for
help? Maybe as time goes on, maybe he can strengthen that connection with them. Maybe.
And then maybe they had conversations about, like, oh, you should put the paintings over there for the Zen, and have the younglings over there, and then don't help them with anything. And
all the younglings. Oh no,
the younglings.
Are you saying all the youngling Force ghosts are there too? Is that what you're saying? No. All those dead kids
just standing in the corner.
Oh jeez.
In pieces.
What should we do, sir? Oh my god!
Maybe that's why Kylo went crazy.
All
the dead children just being around.
Oh, Mr. Kylo, what should we do, sir? No, I'm saying Luke had a completely different training, so I don't know if he's going to come at it the same way. I mean, I guess he would have done all this already with his apprentices.
Well, something went wrong, obviously, because he couldn't contain Kylo.
I wonder if he started out like a certain way, and then that's what drove Kylo away.
I mean, maybe he tried to. I mean, yeah, we don't know yet, so that's hard to think about. I just think that I think I think the problem has still been handling emotion.
Yes.
And he wasn't able to handle Kylo's emotion.
Yeah.
The other kids were probably younger. And the fact that Kylo was around while Luke was still figuring it out.
You think they were younger?
Most likely.
I wonder if they were even kids. I
hope
we get some
it
kind
could just
of.
be adults.
I hope we get some kind of insight into that.
But I think the problem is Kylo was probably there at a young age while Luke was still figuring it out, and Kylo was probably his first person that he tried to help.
Maybe, yeah. Because he's been around. He knows Leia has that Force sensitivity. I'm sure he felt it on Kylo.
So I think there's this ongoing thing of trying to figure out the emotional aspect in addition, with the Force. And I think hopefully that will be figured out with Rey. Yeah. In a healthy manner.
To sum it all up, I think The Last Jedi is only Luke and not Rey.
Yes, I agree.
And it's not plural.
Yeah. I hope not. I would agree, since it's been referenced in, an original trilogy film in The Force Awakens that Luke is the last Jedi.
But,
it doesn't necessarily matter, but I do think it's just in reference to Luke.
Just think whatever the fuck you want.
Who cares? Pretty much. Everyone will bitch about the title of the film, and that's
forever.
Whatever. It's a cool title. I really like it.
Forever until
it
comes out.
It's a really nice title.
Yes. People are gonna bitch about it on Reddit, and just go.
That's our thoughts on why the title and what we hope it means.
Go eat a butt.
So go eat a butt.
Next
according
topic.
to Michael. So, in the title being released, when
we've been talking about this.
When the title was released,
yes.
for The Force Awakens,
yes,
there was a teaser. About a week later, a week and a half later.
The one with the Falcon.
Yes. So the title was released on, was it Sunday or Monday? It's Monday morning.
What?
It was released Monday. It was released on a Monday.
I don't remember at all.
Yes, Monday.
Okay.
Because I was working, and then I couldn't work for hours because the Star Wars title was released, and it was very distracting.
Oh, you're talking about this title?
Yes.
Oh,
this
yeah.
Title.
This was on Monday. Yeah.
So when the Force Awakens title was released, there was a small teaser within a week.
Okay.
A week. A week. Or 2 weeks, something like that.
You think we'll see one?
The Super Bowl is on February.
The
first Sunday in February, whatever that is. I don't sport. So the timing of when the Force Awakens title was released to when there was a teaser is exactly lining up with the title release of The Last Jedi and the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl is next month?
February, yeah.
It's not this month.
No, it's February. It's the first Sunday in February.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know.
So yeah, it would be if the title was released on a Monday, Super Bowl's on a Sunday, it would be just under 2 weeks.
Air it during commercials and stuff, would they?
I don't know. I've said this whole time, I don't think there's going to be anything shown until Celebration. But with The Force Awakens, the title was released. 2 weeks later, there was a teaser. Title has been released for The Last Jedi. 2 weeks later is the Super Bowl.
And Kathleen,
it is possible. I don't think it would happen.
Kathleen was saying that they were trying to give Rogue One some room to breathe. This has generated a lot of hype for 8. So I can't imagine they would wait too long for a teaser, right?
Hopefully not. I mean, obviously there was already that quote teaser of showing the scene of Luke and Rey with the lightsaber, and then it cutting to the film crew like sitting there saying cut or whatever.
Well, you've heard Ryan talk about that. They had to shoot that months before they started.
Yeah, just to have something to be like, look what we did.
Well, it was something about like they only had access to the island like that time, so they had to just get it over.
But I'm just saying the title release to teaser lines up with the Super Bowl. I personally don't believe there will be anything at the Super Bowl. I think there will be Marvel. I'm just saying it's possible, but I don't think so.
Okay.
Do you think there will be anything?
You're hedging your bets. This is the first time I've heard you not come out and just say it will be this time, at this place.
What do you mean?
You always seem to predict pretty accurately when. Yeah,
I think the first thing we will see will be Star Wars Celebration. Do you think there's any likelihood that there will be something during the Super Bowl?
Not during the Super Bowl, but definitely before Celebration.
You think we'll get a teaser before Celebration?
I think so, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think we'll probably see a trailer or some kind of behind-the-scenes footage or something more.
Some sort of teaser?
More at Celebration, yeah. Because I think we're gonna have to have that hype train has to keep on a chugging.
I think it would be cool to have a teaser image. So we had the one of like the teaser we had was Kylo lighting up his lightsaber, basically. That short teaser like ended with Kylo's lightsaber lighting up.
Yeah.
It would be cool to have a teaser that ended with a behind shot of Luke with a lightsaber lighting up.
That would be awesome.
That would...
The same angle and everything?
Yeah, basically. Obviously not, but this lightsaber out and down and all emo. But, like, him just standing there, like, I don't know, his arms to the side, kind of, like, holding his lightsaber in a fighting stance with the lightsaber, like, igniting like, over his shoulder.
That would fit the title, for sure.
That would be a cool teaser.
Yeah, it would.
That would be cool for something to come out like that in February, March-ish, maybe.
March-ish.
I don't think we'll get a full teaser
Celebration
trailer
is in
until Celebration.
April, right?
Yes.
Yes. I definitely think we're going to see some kind of teaser before then.
Okay.
Again, no facts to back that up. Nothing.
Just
no
pure,
rumors. We don't know
pure
anything.
Fan hunches.
That's all this show is.
Yeah. Just pure fan hunches.
Just a bunch of hunches.
Bunch of hunches. That's
bunch of hunch. Just a big old box of bunch of hunch.
Yum.
Over here.
So, in other Star Wars news, not really news, just
and other Star Wars things happened.
People from the story group, from the Lucasfilm story group, were on the Star Wars show on YouTube, including Pablo and some other people.
Uh-huh.
And because there's been the question of why was Leia at the Battle of Scarif? What was Tantive doing there? Like, why?
I always thought it was because Bale mentioned...
Thank you for being so bored with my question. Continue.
I always thought it was because Bale mentioned, I trust her with my life. He sounds just
but why would she be at the battle? She's like, that's not a battle.
I thought he just went and got her and then was like...
Here, come here quick!
Hey,
come here quick!
I got her! Hey, we're fighting!
Why did he get her there?
Huh?
Why did he send her to Scarif, though? That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Why was she at the Battle of Scarif? Well, we have a question. I'm just...
Well, maybe
what you're saying doesn't make any sense.
Maybe it was like a carpool scenario where...
it was.
He goes back, the fleet is on their way to Scarif, and she hops a ride with the fleet.
Pretty much what happened. So, Pablo mentioned that... Because it's a consular ship. It's not like a battleship. It doesn't need to be there
joking.
to
Is this
fight
real?
anything. Oh, yeah. So, Leia's consular ship, Tanto 4, appeared at the end of the film, which directly connecting Rogue One to New Hope.
Uh-huh.
So... what happened is, and this is from Pablo Hidalgo, is it turns out her and Admiral Raddus got sidetracked during their already scheduled trip to Tatooine to pick up Kenobi.
Pick up Obi-Wan?
They were headed to get Obi-Wan already. That's why she had to send off R2 with the, get Obi-Wan, send this message, whatever. So his quote is, the plan was always that Leia was going to Tatooine to pick up Obi-Wan, and Raddus was going to escort her.
Pick up Obi-Wan or just...
No, to get him from Tatooine. They were going to Tatooine to get
see
him. They were going to pick him up and bring him into, like, shit's going down. You're currently the last Jedi.
So do you think Obi-Wan has kept in contact with Bale?
It's a good question. So...
one that an Obi-Wan trilogy would solve for us.
Probably, since they're the two parents of the two children, they may be like, hey, what's going on, and all that. So the plan was that Leia was going to go to Tatooine to pick up Obi-Wan, and Raddus was going to escort her. Then the news of Scarif came in, and that was deemed more important because it's the one warship that they have at this point. Raddus.
The Mon Calamari ship?
Yeah. So radishes.
It's just Raddus.
How do you possessively Radisses?
Radisses. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Radisson.
Yeah. Raddus's ship was their only warship. Their only warship they had at that point. So he had to reroute and go there. So he said Raddus was accompanying Leia because she was the public face of the cause, and they needed to keep her safe so she could continue getting them supplies. Mm-hmm. The ship's inclusion itself was explained in the Rogue One novelization, which I haven't read, because Tantive 4 remained on Raddus's warship as opposed to staying on Yavin or flying solo because it was undergoing some repairs.
Well, that's convenient.
I don't know what the repairs reason was. So it was docked in Raddus's warship because it was being repaired.
Probably the deflector shields.
Which
those failed pretty quickly.
It may not have finished repairs, which is maybe why it didn't escape that Star Destroyer.
Well,
or it's a Star Destroyer, so good luck getting away from it as a tiny consular ship.
But I mean, they surrendered pretty quickly.
Oh no, it's them! Oh no, just whatever. Fine. So yes, so that's the reason she was at Scarif Battle, was because she was with Radis as they were going to get Obi-Wan, which I thought was the coolest part of that. I don't care why Leia was at the Battle of Scarif, but even though she sent that message, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. Yeah. They were actually on a mission to go get him before that, and that was her like, crap, we need to now get this out and tell him.
Well, yeah, she recorded that after they got boarded, or as they were about to get boarded.
And they just so happened to also have the plans at that point.
Well, yeah,
so, take the plans, R2, also get Obi-Wan. Hopefully this works out.
Yeah, I wonder if that was...
get Obi-Wan because he's the Jedi and we need his help. Here's also the plans, so maybe he can help us with that as well.
Okay, so wait, hold on. So Bail sends the message back to Alderaan, or goes there himself. Who knows what happens there.
Yeah.
That, Leia, you need to escort these plans? Right?
Well, he was going to have her take care of the plans, but I think they were going to get Obi-Wan first.
Because that's what he was saying in Rogue One, right? Was that they needed
to trust with these or whatever, and he's like, I trust with my life.
Yes. So
obviously, the original she was going to be the person that was going to take care of the plans once they got in and got out secretly, and no one had to know.
So I don't understand. So how does this Obi-Wan thing fit into it? Was she going to Obi-Wan before they found out that they could even get the plans?
Possibly.
It just seems so convenient that it all worked out like that. And was she on Radis's ship this whole time, or was she on the Tantive IV?
What? When going to get Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
They were escorting her, so she may have been docked. As well.
All right.
But they were together. And I mean, in another note, Pablo said that during everything with Rogue One that happened on Yavin, Leia was there almost the entire time, which is why R2-D2 and C-3PO were also there. She was there and around most of the time already, and as part of what was going on.
Yeah.
So I doubt she was on. She may have been back and forth from Tatooine.
All right.
But yeah, I just find it interesting that they were already. That wasn't like a last ditch effort from her. Like, oh crap, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. There's they were already going to get him, but now we have the plans, so now you're definitely my only hope. Take these plans and help us.
The message was a last ditch effort.
Yes.
Sending a message with R2.
Yes, but not the fact that finding Obi-Wan was the last ditch thing. They were already planning on doing that.
Yes.
That's the part that I found cool.
That's interesting. The timeline is a little weird. It seems a little convenient how that all worked out, but I guess you can only do so much.
Yeah.
With all of that.
Yeah.
So,
and
anyways.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. And like you were saying, I think based off of actually someone who is a friend who is watching our live stream of the episode just text me and said from reading the Ahsoka book, it sounds like Obi-Wan and Bail definitely kept in touch. Which I think
it makes sense because
I definitely want more information on what Obi-Wan was up to.
Bail was the only one who knew where Obi-Wan was.
Correct.
Because they had that
Obi-Wan
conversation.
Was basically secretly watching Luke.
Well, yeah, they were the only ones who knew about the twins.
Well,
originally. Well, and Yoda, too.
And Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru.
Well, eventually. But I'm saying when they were first born,
yes,
those three were the only people who knew, these are Anakin's children. So, and Obi-Wan, told him then, I know of a place I can, I can take Luke.
I know of a shithole where he can go. To
Tatooine! Into this shithole! Get on in there.
Watch out for the sand. It's rough and coarse, and it gets everywhere, kid.
I heard from somebody.
Your dad's dead.
That's rough and coarse and gets everywhere.
Yes, so it would be interesting to have more. Every fan keeps saying this. We want Obi-Wan information.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan backstory. I would accept books. I don't need comics. A trilogy. A book series would be cool.
Yeah.
A novel series.
There was an Obi-Wan comic, wasn't there?
There's stuff in the Star Wars series, like from Obi-Wan's diary, basically.
Yes.
But I want...
Not an Obi-Wan comic. Right.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's wrap this crap up with some more listener questions.
Jeez.
What?
All right, let's get to the end here.
Let's go ahead and flush this toilet with some listener questions. Look at this crap.
There we go. First one.
First question from
Nathan, listener.
Listener Nathan.
Nathan listener is his full
Nathan listener. Nathan Q listener. So with the title of The Last Jedi coming out with only 324 days from the time the email was sent to us, when do we think that a teaser or trailer will drop? We already covered that. I think a full teaser or trailer will not be until Celebration. Maybe a couple second, like a 5-second thing like they had with Finn turning on the lightsaber or Kylo Ren. I think that could happen before Celebration, but I do not think there will be a full teaser of more than 10 seconds.
Like I said, you got to keep that hype train going. So I think we're going to have something before
a little blip.
Because
nothing.
4 months away. Right?
I don't think there will be anything longer than 10 seconds until Celebration.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So done. Check.
Thank you, Nathan.
Next
one. We already touched on that, so your question answered. Another listener, Scott, was asking about the deleted scene from The Force Awakens on the continual train of Force Awakens deleted scenes that seem to keep just falling out of Lucasfilm's butt.
I don't understand.
It's like, oh, whoa, there's another one. Hey guys, we found another deleted scene.
I've talked about this so much, how I'm so angry that
that The Force Awakens just like keeps like just dropping stuff out of its butt. Just like, hey guys, just found another thing.
That fucking movie.
So there was a deleted scene, if you didn't see it, that was at Maz's palace where Chewbacca tears off
on Takodana,
on Takodana. Chewbacca tears off Unkar Plutt's arm because Unkar Plutt shows up at Takodana and like grabs Rey and is like because
basically so Rey is
like,
walking...
my ship, what did you do?
So in the scene, Rey is walking through the castle and then Unkar is there and grabs
her arm again, which she hates, as we know,
right, and is like, you're in so much trouble. He says like it's the dumbest
no one
line.
cares, but he's just like that's all that it matters. All that matters is he sounded
have no idea.
Yeah. And then Chewbacca shows up and like grabs him and like just slowly rips one of his arms out, like the goriest like ripping of an arm Chewbacca's ever done, and then chucks it across the room.
But what does Unkar say? I forget. He says something.
Oh, like when Chewbacca like pushes him or whatever, like pushes him away.
Yeah,
he like threatens Chewbacca like an asshole.
That's right. That's what. Yeah,
he's an idiot.
He does something like that, and then Chewbacca's like, "Oh, I don't care."
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Arm off, and then chucks it. And then that was basically the scene. And then Scott's question was, what are our thoughts? Why it didn't make it into the film? And.
One, you've got Unkar's terrible lines in that scene.
One Unkar.
I can't believe
does Unkar have a ship now? Because I'm pretty sure Rey took it.
So.
And obviously Chewbacca then would have had to be in the palace, in Maz's palace, in her little castle.
Where was he?
Back at the ship.
So the castle comes down, and he just is out there shooting people. Then that's right.
He stays with the ship. Chewie stays with the ship.
He could have just as easily been inside.
He could have been anywhere, but it just it didn't with the stuff. The importance of like Rey figuring out things and them talking to Maz, and it really broke up that pacing of like here's the part where we bring it down a little bit. Finn is still trying to run away. Rey doesn't know what's going on.
That's the technical like story pacing reason.
From a story point of why it should not have been there.
Universe reason, I think it just doesn't make sense. One, for Unkar to be there after
how he followed them
somebody calls a space Uber to go pick him up and then goes to Maz's castle because it's the only place to drink in the entire universe.
Sure.
Like, why is he even there?
I'm trying to get a ship back, I think.
So he followed the Falcon there?
Somehow, yeah. That doesn't make it. It would require way too much explanation for it to fit in.
Okay, one of the other. I mean, everybody knows I have the gripe about the Falcon being able to jump to light speed in the middle of an atmosphere,
or from out of a ship's hangar.
Yes.
Through a what are those things called?
Through like a magnetic shield.
Through a Rathtar.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, there's a lot of the Falcon we already know breaks all of science because of those stupid guns.
I guess, yeah.
And many other things.
Right.
Yeah, the Falcon has its own physics.
So there's that thing, but then now you're adding the fact that it can just be tracked anywhere by anybody. Because Han was like,
maybe it can. Maybe that's how the Knights of Ren find.
If we can track you, blah blah blah.
Sure.
Doesn't he say that? Remember, he's like, if we can track you, you can bet the First Order can, or something like that.
Yeah.
So apparently the Falcon can be tracked by anybody, anywhere, at any time. Doesn't matter where you are. You just turn on your little Falcon tracker switch.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Beep, 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 beep. And,
Ships just come with those now.
As you get closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't.
It doesn't really make sense.
A lot of explanation would have had to exist around that would have brought everything else to a screeching halt.
So there's your
yes.
There's your answer that just ruins everything.
Yeah, it would break too much. And then he also asked when we will finally do a review of the Star Trek original series episode Trouble with Triples.
Soon, next episode. I promise. 100% promise. Next episode.
I will admit
I don't care
that
what you
I've
think.
never seen that entire episode.
You've never seen it?
Not the entire episode.
What?
Just
We'll figure
parts
it
with
out.
them like opening glove boxes and triples fall out.
Maybe it'll be like an extra, but like a bonus episode or something.
Sure. We'll see.
We'll do a Skype.
We'll see if I watch it.
We'll do a Skype thing
Yes.
or something.
Support us on Patreon and we'll have a special Trouble with Triples.
Yeah, give us $1 on Patreon. We'll do it.
Yeah. And then another listener, Joshua G, wanted to ask our thoughts on a specific theory. So this theory is...
I don't write any of this yet.
That's fine. Don't read it. I'll read it to you.
Oh.
So anyone that watched the Clone Wars, and I referenced this earlier, is...
Why does it say Scott at the end of it?
You're
messed up
typing
the
things
notes.
places. Obi-Wan had a love connection with Duchess Satine, the pacifist leader on Mandalore.
Yeah.
And their theory is that they had a love child
Okay.
at some point.
Okay.
Whether it's before the Clone Wars or after, we don't know.
I'm listening.
And and this has been I've seen this around a lot of places. The supposedly that love child, was adopted by a couple
Clan
from
Vizsla, yeah.
by House Vizsla, and on Mandalore, and grew up to be Sabine Wren from Rebels. And then the theory just somehow farts out.
I just read ahead of you there.
Sometimes the theory then just farts out that maybe that Rey is then the daughter of Sabine Wren, therefore related to Obi-Wan through love child and Sabine and Mandalore and Rey.
Okay, there's two parts here to my answer. Do you want to
Making
go
her
first?
the granddaughter of Obi-Wan, because everyone has lost their damn mind and wants Rey to be related to Luke or Obi-Wan.
Yeah, you're getting into it. So do you want to answer first? Or,
What I think about that theory?
Or should I?
I want Rey to be nobody, related to no one.
Yes. Why does she have to be related to the only other women in the Star Wars canon that we know about?
You know those 5 women? One of them had Rey.
Because, woman.
I'm okay with Rey being a known entity. I am okay with Luke knowing that knowing she
a known
existed.
entity?
What do you mean?
What do you mean a known entity?
Like, I'm okay with Luke maybe knowing that Rey exists. Maybe he's the reason that she was put on Jakku. I'm fine with that. I don't need her to be related to Luke or related to Obi-Wan in any way.
Yes, right.
I'm fine with, because of her force sensitivity, maybe, whatever. I'm fine with her being known to exist on Jakku and being put there for whatever reason, if that's why she was dropped off there.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. I'm not saying I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
I'm just okay with that
If
over
that
her
ends up
being
being
related
true.
to somebody.
Okay.
I don't need her to be a relation. There can be other force users. Not everyone has to come from the sperm of Obi-Wan or a Skywalker to be able to be a Jedi.
Right.
Or I guess the egg of a Skywalker, since Kylo exists.
Are you saying he's a bird?
I don't need Jedis to come from any sexual juices from a Skywalker or an Obi-Wan Kenobi. None of the sexual fluids need to be involved from those two people.
Is
or
Kylo a
lines.
bird? Why'd you say egg?
Women have... Okay, let me explain how birthing works. Since you have 2 children,
I don't understand.
let me tell you what happened inside of the stuff you and your wife did.
Well, before you say that, let me explain what happened with my children.
Okay. Interesting.
One night, my wife and we smooched a bunch, and then 9 months later, the kid came out. So that's what happened.
You're going to want to have a really
I went-
interesting conversation with your wife.
I went and sat on a bench in a hospital, and I was smoking my cigar on the bench.
Handing them out to everyone else, like you do.
Yes, like you do, handing out cigars, saying, "It's a boy, it's a boy."
Patting your forehead with your
That's
kerchief.
my thing,
Yeah.
and if I was dressed, head to toe in a
Three-piece
business suit.
I got it, yeah.
But I, had a crumple shirt, and my tie was opened a little bit. Sweating, had my, penny loafers on, or whatever the fuck I was wearing.
Who knows?
Smoking my cigar, and then the nurse runs out and says, "Mr. Henderson, Mr. Henderson." Whoops.
I
I didn't mean to go quite that.
I will not comment. Continue. Never doing what you just did ever again.
Oops.
This is not Gone with the Wind, but continue.
Yeah, so the nurse ran out and then, said, "It's a boy." And so I ran back there and gave the cigar to the boy.
Yeah, and then...
Yeah, and then...
It's like, hey, Pa!
Yeah.
I know.
And then we went home and we worked in the mines.
Sure.
That's how it works.
Sure.
So are you saying that's what happened here?
Sure.
Okay. Just making sure. Because if it was anything else, I'd be a little confused.
I will let your wife know that I know things that maybe she needs to discuss with you.
Okay.
But no, I don't need Rey to be related through anybody to a Kenobi or a Skywalker.
Yes. Why does Rey have to be related to...
Everyone is trying to find a way to make that happen, and I don't like any of those
Doesn't make
theories.
any sense.
And I don't care for Rebels as it is, so I don't need any one of them to be getting involved in the films now. Just stay out of my Star Wars, you.
You rebels. No, I like the idea about Sabine being related to...
Yes, I think that's cool.
Because she is part of Clan Vizsla, like we know from that show.
And the Darksaber and all that stuff that's going on with Sabine in the series right now.
Yeah, all that stuff that we don't really know about because we don't watch the
read
show.
About it
and
on
nobody
some
really
places.
needs to.
Yes, I think that would be cool if Sabine is a love child of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Duchess Satine. I don't need Rey to come from any of that juice. That's probably what it sounded like.
What? What sounded like?
Something.
What?
Me watching Rebels.
Huh? Oh.
Anyways. So, no, I don't like that theory, and I don't think it's... I don't know. Just no.
Please continue to listen. We love you very much.
Yes, please, Joshua.
That theory does not make sense. I'm sorry.
It was one that he heard. He didn't come up with it himself, so we're not hating on you. So...
People are just posting internet questions to us now?
Like, hey, I saw this theory. What do you think about it? Because people care about our opinions because we talk about pizza trophies and fanny packs to house your junk.
Oh, right. Yeah, we need to have our pizza trophy recap.
Yeah, looping back on pizza trophies and fanny packs. We were talking about the fanny pack corner?
Yes, fanny pack corner, which apparently is only one corner of a fanny pack, even though a fanny pack could have many
so
corners.
if you don't cut the hole all the way through the fanny pack, your junk has to go on one side, and then the actual usable fanny pack part would be the fanny pack corner on the other side.
Okay.
Yeah, done.
It depends on the size of the fanny pack.
Depends on the size of the junk.
Well, yeah, the relative size. You're talking about the ratio of fanny pack to junk here.
Yeah, if you're just like strapping a backpack to the front, and obviously you're not going to fill up all of it. I don't know, but...
I mean, if this is like sticking a half-used pencil inside... inside the backpack.
You know, when you stick like a putt-putt golf pencil in like a
backpack.
In like a backpack or a car trunk.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
You know. All right.
Or we could be talking about, sticking an entire salami inside a
Ziploc.
Inside a Ziploc.
Yeah.
A little sandwich bag.
Yeah, one of those little half sandwich bags.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
So it all depends on the ratio. But
bag to also bag.
You could have a fanny pack corner depending on that ratio.
Test it at home. Don't send us pictures. So if you enjoy our podcast and have not yet, please go to iTunes and leave us a review. Some other places probably allow reviews. I don't know. iTunes is the one that really matters.
Apparently we're popular on iHeartRadio for some reason.
Someone listens to iHeartRadio. I don't know who.
Apparently.
Yes.
Because it's like more than everywhere else.
Yes. If you want to hear more episodes, if you found us on iTunes, go and want to hear more episodes, obviously find them on iTunes, but you can find everything on HokeyReligion.com as well. We have a Facebook page. Search Hokey Religion.
And people apparently like to listen to our show from our tweets.
Yes, we tweet our episodes, and people like to just stream them straight from the tweets.
Why are you doing that?
Why not? And to do that, you can go to @Hokey_religion.
Please just subscribe to the show.
Yeah, just subscribe to the show.
Just don't follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to the show.
Sure, why not? If you do enjoy the show and you want to support us and help make the podcast better and help us to be able to do more of these, you can go to patreon.com/HokeyReligion, and you can support us monetarily there from anywhere from $1 to many more dollars that you feel like giving us. That money will not go to pizza trophies. It will go to making the show and the equipment and our availability to do these more often.
Yeah, it's little known that we do have to make our own equipment on this show.
Yes.
That's
Your equipment will
unfortunate.
go towards our buzzsaws to cut down more trees to make more microphones, as one does. You know, that's
our wooden microphones.
that day we carved out our microphones and then we started the podcast. That
That's, like the start of every other podcast. What do you think?
you find the right tree in the middle of a forest.
You try starting a
Christmas.
podcast.
It's like Christmas. When you find a tree, you have to go find the perfect tree. We found the perfect podcast tree.
Podcast tree.
We made our table,
in the
our
podcast
microphones, the
forest.
stands. We made a compressor. It's
Yeah.
Software. It was
I'm still working on my laptop. It'll be done soon.
that
My wood laptop.
MacBook made out of a tree. As one does.
You know how it is.
Yeah.
You try making a podcast. It's difficult.
You try making a podcast out of a tree.
You try walking through the podcast forest trying to find the perfect tree. All those trees talking to you, trying to seduce you.
All those Blue Apron and Audible.
The Blue Apron and Audible birds
Yeah.
flying at your face.
Giving you links to sign up with their offer code.
Loot Crate mosquitoes.
They are. Anyways, if you do enjoy the show and feel like supporting us to make it better and hopefully maybe force us to do it more often because we would like to, we just can't seem to do that.
Justify it.
We can't justify the time to the return, you damn listeners.
You damn freeloaders. We can here do this every damn other week.
We come in here every bi-weekly and we yell at you about pizza trophies and putting your sack in a fanny pack.
You just sit your old fat ass in your chair, just consuming.
We enjoy you, listeners. Thank you for listening.
Go ride a damn bike for once. Or something.
What does that have to do with
I don't know.
anything?
Get off your ass.
They're still sitting on a bike.
Oh. Yeah. Stand on your bike.
Sure.
Go ride a unicycle.
Go
Is that better?
stand on the wheel pegs of somebody else's bike while they ride it and listen.
But through their headphones, not yours.
Yeah. Just on speakerphone. Just the whole thing. Just
So
playing.
you have to put your head next to them.
You have to hold them
while
closely.
you're on the back of the bike.
Yes, and listen through
Or
their
even the worst,
outside of their headphones.
If you're on the handlebars, and you have to kind of go back.
Lean back into them.
Turn it off.
Okay, we need to end this trash. Are we good?
And they're like swerving.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's.
on the
I would swear if someone back into me while I'm trying to listen to a
Oh,
podcast
God!
on my bike. Where did you come from?
Into the road.
Who are you? All right, this has been Hokey Religion. This is Tyler.
This is Michael.
See ya.
Hokey religion is an ancient weapon. Hokey religion is an ancient weapon for no match for a good blaster at your side.